Imagine a fleet of ships so massive, they made Christopher Columbus ships look like toy boats. Imagine an admiral whose voyages were so grand, they reshaped trade and diplomacy across continents. Meet Zheng He, China's legendary explorer, diplomat, and all-around oceanic rock star. Zheng He was no ordinary explorer. His voyages in the 15th century weren't just about finding new lands. They were about showing off the sheer power and sophistication of the Ming Dynasty. He sailed across Asia and Africa, leading fleets that were as much about peace as they were about dominance. So, who was Zheng He? How did he go from a captured servant to one of history's greatest maritime leaders? Zheng He was born in 1371 in Yunnan province, China, into a Muslim family. His birth name? Mahi. His ancestors were originally from Central Asia, and they brought their Islamic traditions to China. As a boy, Mahi would have been exposed to stories of faraway lands, bustling trade routes, and the cultural melting pot that defined his hometown. But his childhood took a dark turn when he was captured by the Ming army. At just 10 years old, Mahi was captured during a military campaign. He was castrated and sent to serve in the court of the Ming Prince Zhu Di. Tough break, right? But Mahi didn't let this setback define him. Instead, he thrived, showing intelligence, loyalty, and a knack for strategy. Over the years, Mahi became one of Zhu Di's most trusted advisors. When Zhu Di became the Yongle Emperor in 1402, Mahi was given a new name, Zheng He. And with this new name came a new destiny. Now let's talk about those epic voyages. The Yongle Emperor wanted to showcase China's power and establish trade and diplomatic relationships across the world. Who better to lead this ambitious mission than Zheng He? Zheng He commanded a fleet of over 300 ships, including massive treasure ships, some over 400 feet long. To put that into perspective, these ships were about 4 times the size of Columbus Santa Maria. They were loaded with gold, silk, porcelain, and other luxury goods to impress foreign leaders. Between 1405 and 1433, Zheng He led 7 voyages that took him to Southeast Asia, India, the Persian Gulf, and even East Africa. These weren't small trips. He was leading fleets with tens of thousands of men. But here's the thing. These voyages weren't about conquering new lands or colonizing territories. They were about diplomacy. Zheng He's mission was to establish China as a global superpower and build alliances with foreign rulers. Zheng He's fleet brought back exotic animals like giraffes and zebras to China. Can you imagine the emperor's face when he saw a giraffe for the first time? Of course, these voyages weren't all smooth sailing. Zheng He and his crew faced pirates, storms, and the logistical nightmare of feeding and supplying tens of thousands of men. But Zheng He was a master strategist. He even led naval battles to protect his fleet from attacks. One of his most famous victories was against a notorious pirate leader named Chen Zui in the Strait of Malacca. Zheng He defeated the pirate fleet and secured safe passage for his ships. The guy wasn't just a diplomat. He was a warrior. Before we wrap up, let's dive into some fun facts about Zheng He. Did you know that Zheng He's fleet was so advanced? It had ships dedicated to growing fresh vegetables on board? Zheng He's voyages also helped introduce Chinese goods like porcelain and silk to new markets. In return, he brought back spices, gemstones, and even medical knowledge from foreign lands. So, the next time you think of history's great explorers, don't forget Zheng He, the Muslim eunuch who commanded the greatest fleet the world had ever seen. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the life of Zheng He. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories from history. Until next time, keep exploring